I love the saying, don't tell me something cannot be done when there are already people doing it. We show people how to build passive cash flow. A big part of that is how we show people how to get a much better return on their investments. And why don't I explain that we have more than a dozen investments that double every year? Many people do not believe me. It amuses me when people tell me that it is not possible to earn returns of 100% or more on some of their investments because we're already doing it. Is it common? No, I agree with that. But it does happen if you know where to look for the right investments. Many of these people actually want to start arguing about all the reasons that it is not possible. Instead of arguing about whether you can or cannot double your money in a year, I'm going to show you screenshots of several accounts I have and their actual performance. You will see that each of them at least doubled in 2023. At the end, I will show you how you can get access to these investments. First, I'm going to address the doubts. Why do so many people say you cannot do it? Simple, because they don't know how. And it actually goes much deeper than that. Traditional financial advisors do not know how. I was a financial advisor for about 10 years, and I know that financial advisors can only discuss investments that are registered securities and approved by their brokerage. This means they cannot discuss investing in gold, buying real estate, buying crypto, or any of the investments that I'm going to show you shortly. Second, many of these investments are private. In other words, you cannot find them by searching online. Why? One of the exemptions from having to be registered as a security is to be a private investment. They cannot market, advertise, or even have a website. They can only find new members by word of mouth. With that said, let's start taking a look at some of the actual returns. This first one is one of my favorites. It does not have the highest return of them all, but it is the most stable. The average monthly return is just under 10% per month at about 9.8%. And that's pretty exciting. Anything with an average monthly return of more than 8.13% will at least double every year. So this is above that target. However, the average is not based on making 40% one month and losing 20% the next month and having a lot of volatility. It is based on earning between 8% and 11% in nearly every month. Did I have one month that I barely earned 7%? Sure. But monthly returns that are boring and nearly always between 8 and 11% are pretty good for me. I like that stability and doubling money every year. And you can see here, you actually look at the returns, my balance of $33,000 in that month, I made about $3,300. So that's about 10%. Here it was $37,000. I made $3,800. That was a little bit more than 10%. Here it was $41,877. In that month, I made $44.42. In December, I made 14.01%. And you can actually see that reflected down here. And you can see a chart of the last few months, how the account has grown. So that is that portfolio. Another project I like is this one. You can see the 12-month average is 16.05% per month. That is the monthly average of that asset. That is fantastic. This one is also pretty stable, with the lowest month earning a little over 12% here in June, and the highest month just above 21% here in May. So again, good returns and pretty stable between 12% and 20% most months. Here are the results from a private organization I was invited to join. You can see at the bottom right that I deposited just under $17,000 to get started almost a year ago. This chart shows only the gain on that investment. That's why it starts at zero. But as you can see, the gain over 11 months was about $25,000, and that is reflected over here in the current total. This opportunity declares a fixed rate, and that rate is currently 12%. That is the monthly rate that they are paying for the next 12 months. The next two are a couple of accounts I have with a specific broker. This broker always shows the prior 9 months of returns, so you can see those results here. You can see that for this particular investment, the 9-month monthly average gain is 19%. And if you invested back here 9 months ago, your overall gain would be between 150 or 200%. Actually, it's right here. 178.75% is the 9-month gain in that account. And also with that same broker, here's another one that's very similar. Over the last 9 months, the gain here is 166.61% over 9 months. That's a monthly average of 17.7% return for that particular asset. And the next two are with a different broker. I don't like their graph as much, but you can still see the results. You can see that from May 3rd of 2023 up until I did this snapshot, which was January 22nd, 2024, so about 8-9 months, the ROI was 126.67% during that period. So you can see mostly up. Looks like they had a little bit of a down couple days over in here, but they win 72% of the trades that they make. So that's pretty strong. It is almost always going up. The other one from the same broker, kind of similar. This is a little bit newer. You can see it's only since November 22nd. And since this is being recorded on January 22nd, this is only about 60 days. But during this 60 days, you can see the actual day-to-day movement and the ROI during a 60-day period of 47.35%. That's just crazy. But those are several examples of actual returns I've been receiving in some of my investments over the past year or so. One question people ask me is, how do they get such high returns? They all use different strategies, but there are some common traits. None of these projects buy and hold assets like mutual funds and stocks, and they don't just buy it and think that it's going to go up. Instead, they're doing different strategies of trading. And most of them are trading some form of Forex, which is foreign exchange currencies, or they're trading crypto, or in some cases, stocks. And a lot of those, they're actually using stock derivatives, such as put and call options. Again, they've got methodology that works most of the time, and they just repeat it frequently. I mean, think about this. A trade that they can make really quickly that makes less than 1% may not sound very exciting, but if you do it many times every day, those little gains add up, and that's what they're doing. In other words, they're not based on buy low and sell high. They're based on trading strategies that have been tested and refined. Now for the big question. How can you participate in these opportunities? They are for members of our Unbroken Investing community. Besides access to all these investments, you also get access to several live weekly calls to discuss different types of opportunities and much more. The goal of the community is to help everyone achieve financial freedom with passive cash flow. Membership is only $97 a month, and you can cancel anytime. And it's a pretty easy to justify $97 a month for the cost when you're making 8 to 12% a month on your investments. For more information, go to www.unbrokeninvesting.com or follow the link in the description below. Now let's return to my opening comment. Don't tell me something cannot be done when there are already people doing it. You have seen the proof that there are numerous opportunities to earn returns that are high enough to double your money every year. People are doing it, and you can too. So we look forward to having you join us.